Hi, welcome friends to DTK Food and Travels. Today we're going to be making one of those traditional dishes that you see around the holiday times. It's the fish moly. So to get the fish for this, we actually made a trip to Seabrook, Texas. That's where they have a lot of fish stores all in one area. So we visited several stores and finally got our fish from one of the stores there. That's our friends. We made a little day trip with them out there. And you should check out this place, or if you have a fish store near you, get the fish that you would like to make this dish with. This dish is called fish moly. And this is so tasty. It's not spicy like the traditional Kerala fish curries, but for this you use fish that's pretty fleshy. You can use, for example, kingfish, pompano, pearl spot, which is cardamom, and what we're using for this is redfish. So this recipe is for the marination. I'm going to give the recipe to marinate 6 pounds of fish, or basically it's 6 red fishes. So for this you would need 1 teaspoon of black pepper per pound of fish, and you would need half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 3/4 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. So I'm multiplied that by 6, and this is for 6 fishes. You just mix it all up and marinate each fish. So I cut the red fish into, some of them into 4 pieces and some of them into 6 pieces. And what you want to do is you want to marinate it and leave it for at least 30 minutes. That's all the fish. Leave it at least for 30 minutes, but you can marinate it longer. So all the fish that I marinated, we didn't make it all in one day. So I put some in the freezer because the rest were for a holiday get together, and I would just take it out of the freezer the night before, thaw it in the fridge overnight, and just fry it and make it the day of. But we are gonna make some today, and that would be just 1 red fish, or about 5 slices. So you want to go ahead and marinate this, coat it with the marinade, and then just put it in the fridge. If you're going to marinate it just for 30 minutes, then room temperature should be okay. But if you're going to marinate for anything longer than that, it needs to be refrigerated. And like I said, we did put everything except 5 pieces into the freezer for a later day. And once you get it all marinated, just there it is, there's all of it right there. I'm gonna put some away. And the next step is we're gonna go ahead and get this fried. For this, if you use coconut oil, that's best. You would need about 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. And you fry it about 2-3 minutes on each side, and the heat is on medium. It doesn't have to be cooked, fried all the way, because we're going to be cooking this a second time in coconut milk. At that point, if any portion is not fully fried, it will get cooked. So like I was saying, about 2-3 minutes on each side is good enough on medium. Get 1 more piece in there, that's just perfect. We'll just let it cook for 2-3 minutes, then turn it over, and then let it cook 2-3 minutes again on that side. Okay, time to turn it over. There, it's just perfectly done on that side. So once you fry the fish, and if you're doing it in several batches, make sure you add oil, about 2 to 3 tablespoons, just enough to refill what the fish already soaked up. So we'll just go ahead and get that fried and get it removed from the oil. There it is, that's all the fish that we fried, and we'll go ahead and make the fish moly. So to make the fish moly, you want to go ahead and put about 2 teaspoons. You can put 2 tablespoons, but I'm just going to use 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. And to that, you want to add 4 cardamoms. And if you go ahead and open the shell a little bit, that will help release the flavor a little bit more. Then go ahead and put 6 cloves, about a 3-inch piece of cinnamon stick, and you just want to go ahead and heat that so it'll release its fragrance. That's all you need for right now, and the heat is on medium right now. And we'll go ahead and add some more ingredients. So when I'm making the fish moly, I'm making 1 pound of the fish. So this recipe is for one pound. So you want to go ahead and put 1 teaspoon of chopped ginger, 2 teaspoons of garlic, and I'm using 1 green chili. This is a mild dish, so if you want it spicier, you can definitely add more chili, green chilies, because we're not going to be using any red chili powder in here. We will add a little bit more black pepper later on, but this is about all the heat that this fish dish is going to have. So you just want to go ahead and saute this for a little bit. Then we'll add just a stem of curry leaf. You can certainly add more if you want, but just 1 stem is good enough. And then 1 medium sliced onion. And you want to go ahead and saute this. And one thing I was going to say was, if you don't want to chop up the ginger or the garlic, you can certainly use the ginger garlic paste. That's okay also, but I always like the fresh taste of the ginger and garlic. It's so much better than the bottle stuff, but the bottle stuff is definitely convenient at times. So you want to just go ahead and saute this, and I am going to add a little bit of salt just to get the onions to wilt faster. You can add salt to taste. Remember, we marinated the fish with the salt. And one thing I did forget to put in was 1 bay leaf. So for the 1 pound of fish, you can use 1 bay leaf. There, just putting in the salt right now. That'll help this wilt faster. This is what I'm down when I slice that. So as this is done on medium heat, we'll just wait for it to wilt, and then we'll start adding the powder. So finally it's wilted. So we'll go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and then just a half a teaspoon of black pepper. So if you want a little bit more, it's certainly okay to add it, but just half a teaspoon is good enough, because I did use a lot of the black pepper when I marinated it. So you just want to saute it just to get the raw taste, the raw flavor of the spices out. And then we'll add the next ingredient. So the next ingredient that we're going to add is the tomato. I'm using 1 chopped up tomato for this. I saved 2 slices for decoration for when I'm done. So we're just going to go ahead and saute the tomatoes real quick. And all this is done on medium heat, as I mentioned earlier. The tomatoes don't have to wilt completely. Just saute it just for a minute or so. Then we'll go ahead and add the diluted coconut milk. So for this diluted coconut milk, what I did was I used 1 cup of coconut milk and added I used half a cup of coconut milk, not 1 cup. Half a cup of coconut milk, Then I added 1 cup of water to it and mixed it up. And then you add it into the pot, and after the coconut milk comes to a boil, you add the fish to it. So there it is. I'm adding all the fish in there. Just gonna make sure the fish is completely covered with the coconut milk. They're just making sure it's all on there. Then we're just gonna cover and cook this on medium heat for about 4 minutes. And then at that point, the fish should be completely cooked if any was not completely cooked from the first time we fried it. So it's been about 4 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and uncover it. And at this point, we're gonna go ahead and add 1/2 cup of coconut milk. This is the full strength coconut milk. Just gonna go ahead and add that in there. And there's one more ingredient that we're gonna add, and that is 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I'm just using plain vinegar here because I don't want to give it any other flavor. Then you're just gonna gently swirl it. You don't want to mix it around too much because you don't want the fish to break up. So this is good enough. Then I'll just move some of the gravy around with the spoon, with a wooden spoon. There, that's it. This is done. You just wait for a gentle bubbles to form, and the heat is on low at this point. And when I see the little bubbles, I'll go ahead and turn it off because we don't want this to curdle. There. It looks so good. Hope all of you will just try this. This will go perfectly with appam, padapam, any kind of dish that you make. This will go perfectly with it. Just gonna go ahead and turn it off. And once it's cool, it's ready to be plated and served. Hope all of you will try this. That's how I served it that day. Just decorated it with a couple of tomato pieces and a curry leaf. This was so yummy. All of you definitely need to try it. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We've been Christmas caroling this year, and this is one of the scenes from the caroling. Enjoy. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone.